UCC, please do so. And make sure you share the link with your friends and family and keep your comments coming. You can follow all our live updates and our live telecasts anytime, any day. You can also check the University of Cape Coast website for the plan of activities for the year. And be sure to follow us and leave your comments in the comment section. And please don't forget to subscribe and also share with family and friends. We're transmitting live from the old Academic Board Chamber, and this is vetting of nominees for the position of SRC Coordinating Secretary, which was declared vacant post the vetting period last week. We've interacted with 4 applicants already. We're expecting 4 more applicants to go for the day, and if the applicant is ready, please let us invite him or her in. If the person is not ready, you let us know and then we make progress. Turn on.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You are welcome.
Thank you.
Kindly state your name and index number for the purposes and records of our committee.
Thank you, Prof. Chair. My name is Nana Ajwa Bentum with the index number ETCSC 200004.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Is this the first time you're appearing before us?
Yes, please.
Last year
I didn't come for any vetting from Ucc Src local notes.
But you went for a position last year?
Yes, please, at the JCRC level.
Oh, okay. What position was that?
Atlantic Core Secretary.
Okay. All right. So we'll take some time to interact with you. We'll take some time to interact with you, ask you a couple of questions. And we're live on TV UCC and on ATL 100.5. So smile for the cameras. Yes. Smile for the cameras, and then let's capture all the beautiful moments. And please make sure your voice is audible enough so we can pick the feed appropriately. There's a bottle of water in front of you, so at any time you want to take a sip, please do. If you want us to take a break so we continue as well, you can do that. And if we ask any question and you don't get it, you can ask us to repeat the question so you can get clarity before you answer. Is that okay?
Yes.
Right. So good luck.
Thank you.
Over to you.
Hello, Nanajwa.
Hello.
You don't know whether to say mom or auntie or just address the chair.
Hello, Prof. Chair.
Why today? Why didn't you file the first time?
Thank you, Prof. Chair, for the question.
Do you understand my question?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I would say I couldn't file, or I didn't file for the first time when nominations were opened, because I had to consider certain factors, put certain things in place, and all those things were as a hindrance for me filing for the nomination.
What were these things?
I had to do 1 or 2 consultations, a few consultations from the people that I would need their support. I would need support from.
So it means that this decision you have taken is not your own decision, but some people you consulted have forced you to take this decision.
Not to say the decision was made for me, but in every stage in life, any step you want to take, you need advice from people, and consultations are very important in everything you want to do.
You haven't answered. So is it your decision or is the decision of your
It was
consultant?
my decision.
So why didn't you go for the JCRC secretary again?
Why didn't I go in for the JCRC secretary again?
Yes. It was open. It was vacant again.
Yes, please,
So
it
why
was.
didn't you try that?
Due to 1 or 2 personal reasons, I wasn't really interested in going in for the same position.
You see, when you put yourself up for a position, you have to be flexible and open up. 1 or 2. This is the second time I mentioned 1 or 2. So what are those 1 or 2? You can just say you are not interested in that.
Yes, please, I wasn't interested.
But if you say 1 or 2, I will let you add 3 and 4. Because I'm thinking, so if this current one was not re-advertised, what would you have done?
I would have just supported anyone that would be going in for the position.
So do that then.
No, please. I believe this is an available opportunity for me to also take up the chance of serving the people of this noble institution.
So when you come, what would you do?
When I come in as the coordinating secretary, as the coordinating secretary, some of our duties is to coordinate the affairs of the Executive Council and also the Executive Board, and also to plan and organize meetings of the Executive and as well as the Ucc Src. So coming in as the coordinating secretary, I'm going to seek to the effectiveness of all these planning and organization of any program that is to come up.
Now that is your duty anyway.
Yes, please.
So what new would you, I mean, you may have thought about this position very well and have had some discourse with your consultant.
Yes.
So by now you should know something unique you are going to exhibit, you are going to do, I mean, that you'll be pointed to.
Thank you very much, Prof. Chair, for the question. Something unique I'm bringing on board is, with my background from the ICT, with my little knowledge from ICT, I would introduce digitalization as in terms of reorganizing meetings. It's not every time that everyone will be present for the in-person meeting. And so with the help of online platforms like Zoom, Google Meet, Teams, online meetings can be held at the comfort of your zone. If it happens, you can't be present at the time we are having the meeting. And also one major thing I've noticed with students coming in for programs is mostly when they see, students are mostly interested in this entertainment programs and anything pertaining academics or something that would help improve them personally in their career sections, the total outcome is very low. One thing that can be done to get the people on board is use something as a bait. A bait as in they see this and they would like to come. It could be using item 13. Wherever you see item 13, students would like to be present over there. So maybe at the end of the program, if you say there is a package like item 13 for them, a number of them will be interested to come. And also maybe having a particular package for them, maybe the first 20 people or the first 10 people that will show up for the program would have this package at the end of the program. they would be on time for the program to be successful.
What program are you reading again?
Computer science in education.
And you want to use item 13 to lure students to come for programs. Who will sponsor that item 13?
If there are available funds.
Oh, okay, you're already aware of all that. I see. I was interested in the first one.
The digitalization.
Yeah, that's more useful. But I was also thinking about data issues, because in some halls they don't get the Wi-Fi, and I'm thinking if you want people to hook on the Zoom network, how are they going to join? But I think that is a more laudable idea than food. Madam, item 13. Do you know the previous coordinating secretary? Or the current coordinating secretary?
Yes, Prof.
Who is he or she?
Emily Senatete. She's in the person of Emily Senatete.
And have you spoken with her?
Yes, please. I
When?
have. Before filing for the nomination.
You spoke with her?
Yes, please.
What did you speak about?
I told her this is what I have in mind, and she gave me the go-ahead. She motivated me. She advised me that if I'm taking a bold step like that, it is good.
I haven't seen any position you have occupied in either. Okay, you went for JCRC and you didn't make it.
Yes, please.
What about your class?
My class, no.
No position there. You're in level 300.
Yes, please.
Your campus fellowship?
Pensa.
What do you do there?
What do I do there?
Yes. Do you have are you part of any committee at all?
I don't belong to any committee, but I avail myself for anything that comes up. Any of the activities, I avail myself, but I don't find myself in any of their committees.
Before your secretaryship role, attempted role, did you belong to any committee?
Of the JCRC?
Yes.
I'm part of
SRC.
I'm part of the Atlantic Hall Moroway Naval Cadet.
What? Cadet?
Yes, please.
All right. Okay. So your CV, I like the heading. It looks quite okay, but I think the spaces are not uniform, and some of them are too big. So from what I'll call don't know whether your personal details, there's about 2 spaces there. Then when you come to the next one, between your personal information and objectives, you have a huge one, like 4 spaces. Then you move to another, and the font you use for the objective is slightly different from, if I'm not mistaken, the font size, is different from the other ones. And then you are an undergraduate already. Have you completed your program?
No, please. I'm currently in level 300.
So what should you have written? Because you've written undergraduate.
And computer science.
You are not an undergraduate. You are still a student. You haven't completed. So you rectify that. Then, the background information, because you did not use the spaces well, a very vital information has moved to the next page. Spell junior.
Junior.
Yes.
Junior.
Pardon?
Junior.
Well, it's wrongly spelled here. I don't want to spell it on the camera. So if you go take your CV, somebody who was aspiring for a secretary, you must pay attention to details. I keep telling you, the CV is what will get you into the interview room. And the interview room will give you the opportunity to prove yourself for the job. But if your CV is not good, nobody will call you for interviews, because you have packs like this. You understand? Spell secretary, please.
Secretary.
Here you've written secretary. That is what we have here. This is one word you shouldn't I've gotten wrong?
I'm sure it was a mistake.
A very bad one. Beard computing. No, 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 no. So you have to work on some of those things. Panel assembly. Where is that located?
It's at Abra.
Abra.
Yes,
So
please.
you should have stated the location. Abra. I see. So you are the youth organizer.
Yes, please.
What do you do as a youth organizer?
We coordinate youth activities, it being excursions. We coordinate youth activities, it being excursions, youth meetings, maybe games, anything pertaining youth. We also arrange church premises for service.
I see. So with that experience, you think you can bring it here? Spell Pentecost. Pentecost.
Pentecost.
That's what we have here. It's different. The code is like Cape Coast. Are you sure when the chairman of the church sees this, he'll be happy with you?
Prof. Chair, please. I had both. I did an update of my CV, and so I had both the old one and the new one. So I'm sure with the selection of the one to print.
Don't even respond. You are spoiling your case.
I'm sorry.
Don't even respond. Don't even respond. You should have just looked through, because you had a few days, of course, to do this. And let me say this: if you do your CV, you don't need to do it alone in hiding. You can give it to a friend to look at it for you, because there's a strong possibility that because you did it, there are mistakes you will not find. But if somebody looks at it, they may find some of these petty things and then help you with it. My sister from Pentecost. Then maybe my last but one, your responsibilities should have gone the national. You have the head in responsibility. Then all the responsibilities are on another page. You don't have page numbers on your CV. Doesn't mean you didn't watch the previous ones we have been airing. When you come to eBay store, you've changed the font completely. From Times New Roman to Calibrate or something. You've changed it completely. Why are you doing cut and paste? Computer science. That one, you have the heading. Most of the things are at the back there. Then boot camp, data analytics, boot camp, mostly. What is Atlas Got Talent?
It is a contest held by the Atlantic Hall Ladies Association in Atlantic Hall.
Then what did you do?
I took part in the contest.
I mean, what is it about?
It is about projecting leaders, similar to how Ghana's Most Beautiful projects their leaders.
So it's not a dress competition?
No, please.
Okay. And you are the most eloquent. You were the most eloquent in that competition?
Yes, please.
Are you still the most eloquent in this vetting? Tell us, why do you think you are the best person to be voted for? Why do you think you are the best amongst the lot?
Thank you, Prof. Chair, for the question. I believe each and every person is unique in his or her own way. Appearing before the channel, before the panel today, I believe I'm the best person. I'm the best fit for the job.
Do you have any strength at all?
Do I have any strength?
Strength, yeah. Strength.
I would say maybe I've not really come to the realization of my strengths and weaknesses.
Really? Like, let me speak the English you guys speak these days. Like, seriously? Level 300, you don't know of any strength you have? You don't know of any weakness you have. Thank you very much.
Nanajwa.
Yeah.
Okay. Recently there was a robbery incident at Ablekuma Farm Milk where a police officer was gruesomely murdered by some armed robbers. Have you heard the news?
No, please.
You haven't heard of the Ablekuma robbery?
No.
Not at all. Why? Do you follow the news? Do you listen to news?
I do read news on social media.
Yeah, but you never heard that a police officer was shot by armed robbers at a particular filling station. It was even captured on CCTV.
I didn't come across that, please.
Okay, all right. So I'll give you another question, another chance, but that's your final one. Okay, who is currently the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, and how many justices are there at the Supreme Court?
Who is currently the Chief Justice?
Yes. The question is in two parts. So if you don't know the Chief Justice, you can give us the number of justices they have at the Supreme Court now.
I have no idea for that.
I hear you.
I have no idea.
You have no idea?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. So the police officer, General Lance Corporal Calista Samoa, I wanted to ask the latest. He was buried last Friday, and the Chief Justice is Her Ladyship Gertrude Konu, and there are 14 of them, 14 justices at the Supreme Court at the moment. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Before I ask my question, I want a little bit of clarification. You have on your CV, I'm not taking madam's job, but I want to be sure of something. Yeah, so your professional experience from, I think, May 2022 to July 2022, then underneath you have September 2021 to December 2021, Management Information System, UCC. Technical assistant. Are you sure the position is called technical assistant, or you are just assisting the technician?
Thank you very much for the question. If you go to MIS, there are various sections. That is for the secretary, for the analyst, for the technicians, and also for the programmers. So I was assisting them with the in the technician's office at the technician section.
So you give yourself the title of technician, because it's let me say it's a key position. So if you are given, if it's a title given you, I know such position should be by employment, but you are not. Are you employed with MIS?
I was an intern.
Intern, because it's surprising. Yeah, that's what I want to verify. Yeah, and I think around this time, you were still a student, like classes were ongoing.
It was during the vacation.
September to December.
That was level 100.
Level.
I think you should correct that. You should clearly say that you were an intern. So don't be using this. So assisted maybe the technical people, and then as an intern, you assisted. But not this way.
Then in your award, the set one, third position in the whole athletics competition. So the whole athletics competition, you were third, or it was a specific?
It was organized in my high school, Ghana National College. It was an inter-hall competition.
So the entire
all
hall
the halls
competition.
participated in it.
So in the inter-house, I want to understand, maybe it's football, maybe it's, let me see, a particular game you were third, or in general?
running.
In running.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I was confused a little as to, yeah. So let's come to your question. So your question is into food. I get in it. So we are going to take our time to take the first one, because the first one is key to the second one. Are we good? So I'm a financial process. I'm a financial process. I'm required before a purchase can be made. What is my name? I'm a financial process which is required before purchase is made. Who am I?
You are a financial
Process.
And you are required.
Before a purchase can be made.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Budget.
No. Listen carefully. But if you ask me who am I, I'm Solomon Omega. So let's get, so I'm a financial process. I'm required before purchase is made. Who am I? A process. Look at that word, financial process. Required before a purchase is made. Who am I?
Money.
Is it? No, before you purchase something, what do you do? In this university, before a purchase can be made, what is done?
You need to get money first.
No, you are not getting it. So I just wanted you to say procurement process, because you have to, the budget, everything, those things are contained in one.
Okay.
Are you good? So let me give you another chance. Mention any 3 forms of procurement.
No idea, please.
Okay. So you could have talked about single sourcing, what do you call it? International competitive tendering. So even if you were to mention one, I would have considered, but you couldn't. So.
Okay.
Before I come to you, Nanajo,
Prof. Chair.
you're not smiling, no. Hey. So let's do something on leadership. Are you a leader?
Yes, please.
What makes you a leader?
A leader is supposed to possess certain qualities. Thank you very much, Prof. Chair, for the question. I believe as a leader, you should possess certain qualities before you can consider yourself as a leader. Qualities being trustworthy, being able to live for an exemplary life for people to also follow and try to act the same way. So I believe I find myself in those categories.
You lead exemplary life for people to follow. And you do that very well.
Yes, please.
You're sure?
Yes, please.
Okay. Now, should leaders necessarily have followers? If yes, why? If no, why?
Thank you, Prof. Chair, for the question. As a leader, it is how you live your life that will determine if you are going to have followers or you are not going to have followers. People can take up the position of being leaders, but they are not actually leaders. So stating to be specific that a leader must have followers, it depends on the person that is in the position of a leader.
So what you're trying to say is that you can be a leader and not have followers. Is that my understanding? Because it depends on the individual. So the individual can decide that, yes, I am a leader.
Leaders have followers.
why should leaders have followers? And what would be the importance of leadership and following?
Thank you, Prof. Chair, for the question. Leaders have followers in the sense that it is through the followers that they get motivated to perform or do whatever that they want to do diligently. And because they are living exemplary life, they have followers.
So what do you think are some of the things that leader can do that would not make people want to follow him?
First can be putting your interest first instead of putting the interest of the people first. As a leader, always the interest of the people should come before your interest, because you are there to serve them and not to be served. And also not being trustworthy. People accept you as a leader because they believe in any situation they can trust you. But if you breach their trust, if you breach that trust, they intend not to, they neglect to follow you. They tend not to follow you.
All right, that's a good attempt. Let's make progress.
All right. Now, I am the groundsman, and you know it's all about doing the groundswork. And then my groundswork has revealed that this year you were supposed to be a running mate to a candidate in ATL. And unfortunately, I am told that that candidate couldn't make it because of some CGP or whatever issue. Is that true? I said I am a groundsman, so you should know I'm having my facts. You understand me?
Yeah.
I want you to be very clear with it. If you, okay, so answer. Is that true?
As to the reason why we stepped down, we had to look at the qualifications and eligibility of you being able to stand for election. And looking at those, it is not only a matter of CGPA. We had to look at other things too. That was the main reason why we stepped down.
So can I put it to you that, you see, this office requires people who are on top of their game, who knows the information, because you're going to be coordinating. And this is the case that you have filed, you have done the necessary things. I will tell you are not looking serious, because the groundwork that necessitated you to draw should have been there for you from the beginning.
He wasn't in a good health condition. That is why we stepped down. And
then you saw an opportunity, because you feel like you are an opportunist and you have come here again. Can I put that to you that you are an opportunist? I'm not laughing. So you answer the question for me, okay? All right.
Thank you for the question.
Question overruled.
Okay, so I would say that you listen to my question very carefully. It's a riddle, then you give me the answer. Is that clear? All right. You are lucky the chair came to your aid. Now, the head liaises with other departments, faculties, schools, industries, professional institutions, associations, and similar bodies on matters affecting the department after consultation with the board, with the departmental board. Can I take the question again?
Yes, please.
All right, listen very carefully. The head liaises with the departmental faculties, schools, industries, professional institutions. We have the association and similar bodies on matters affecting the department. Who do you think I am?
The Vice Dean.
I'm giving you the last chance. Who do you think I am?
The Vice Dean.
Okay, so you are correct.
Now, okay, so the question I'm about to ask you is still in relation to the responsibilities of the academic staff and students. Are you with me? Good. So in case there are issues between a lecturer and then a student, who is responsible for solving such problems and issues?
The academic advisor of the department.
Your last attempt, the answer is wrong.
The head of department.
Please come again. Head of department.
Yes, please.
Okay, that's correct. Thank you.
Nanajua Bentu. According to the Times Higher Education Ranking, as at 2023, UCC was ranked in various aspects. Can you tell us the rankings according to Times 2023? All of them, please. So you are telling us all the rankings that UCC was ranked according to the Times Higher Education.
UCC was ranked the #1 university in West Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And also had a ranking in research as #3.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Please, that's all. So UCC was first in Ghana, first in West Africa, fourth in West Africa, 24th, okay, per global research in the world. So partially you had 0 for that. Please, do you get it?
Yes, please.
Thank you. She said first in West Africa.
Nanajua, your question. What strategies will you use to manage timelines, deadlines, and the use of resource effectively? I'll come again, but listen well. What strategies will you use to manage timelines, deadlines, and resource effectively?
What strategy will I use in timelines?
In managing.
In managing. Strategic planning.
That's all.
That is what I will use in managing timelines, deadlines, and resources. I believe when you're able to strategize ahead of time, you would perform or do whatever you need to do before the deadline or before timelines.
How?
Should there be, we find ourselves in an academic institution, we take various courses in a program. If you are to be given an assignment or a project in one of the courses, a different lecturer also gives you another project or assignment in other courses. You personally, you take part in extracurricular activities. Strategic planning will help you meet the deadlines and the timelines of these assignments as to when you are submitting it or when you are not supposed to submit it.
Practically, what would you do? That is what the question is asking. What would you do practically to manage deadlines? So let's take it one after the other. So deadlines. What would you do practically to manage deadlines?
I will draw a list, a to-do list.
Okay. Timelines.
A calendar, use the calendar. Or also use the to-do list.
Resources.
With resources, you look for the available resources available, and you would. No idea, please.
Okay, you've tried, but with the timeline and deadline, you've done a little part of it. And with the resources, as you were saying, you find the available resources around, then use them effectively in achieving of your goal.
Okay.
Do you get it? Yes, so I'll give you above half the mark. Thank you.
Anajwa, as the coordinating secretary, the SRC general secretary will be unavailable for some time, and then the reason has been made known to the executive board. So this means that you are going to serve as the SRC general secretary, and then in serving as the SRC general secretary, you are going to write minutes and also write some letters. And then in your skills in writing too, you are also known to be making mistakes, right? Even in your CV, you made some mistakes in it, like the spelling of the secretary and the junior. So what are you going to do about this situation? I hope you understand the question.
In the absence of the general secretary, I'm going to...
in the absence of the general secretary, you will act as the general secretary per the constitution. So you've been given the mandate to write minutes during meetings and also write letters as you are acting as the general secretary. And then you are committed to make mistakes, right? So what are you going to do about that?
The first thing I will do is, after drafting whatever message or letter I'm to write, I will run it through by her. She not being present in person.
She's not around.
So I will send it to her on social media. It's being WhatsApp for
So
her to
what
go through.
if her social media handle is not working, or she's not active on social media? What are you going to do?
I'll run it through by a different person to seek for corrections. So I will pay attention to details for me not to repeat any mistake.
That is all that you will do.
I would seek assistance from a different person to go through whatever I've written and correct me if there is anything wrong.
Okay. What I was expecting from you is to build yourself. You need to build yourself upon getting some of these skills. And also, you also have a committee, that is the planning and organizing committee. They can also help you. And then the executive board, members of the executive board can also help you with that. And aside that, we have AI tools like the ChatGPT and then Grammarly can also help you. So I will give you below average.
Ms. Benson.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are in a university, and we know students have complaints. They encounter issues. So we have academic complaints and the non-academic complaints. So give us the organogram for channeling non-academic complaints.
The organogram for
Channeling non-academic complaints.
non-academic complaints. So for non-academic complaints, it could be maybe a hall where you find yourself in, maybe your hall of residence, maybe a situation from there. The first person you need to look to is your hall tutor, and from the hall tutor, you go to the hall president. If the situation is not being solved by the hall tutor, it proceeds to the hall master. From the hall master to it proceeds to the dean of students.
Okay, so according to the student handbook, you are right though. It starts with the hall tutor, so the senior hall tutor, and then the hall master before you move on to the dean of students office. So the only one we left out is the senior hall teacher. So I'll give you 2 tests of the mark.
Okay.
Lady Bentu, I will give you 2 offenses. Okay, I will list 2 offenses, and I want you to tell me the immediate sanction, the first sanction that is meted out to an individual that commits that offense. 2 offenses. The first one is physical assault. The second is destruction of university property. I want the answers in relation to the student handbook, page 44 and page 45. So physical assault, number 1, and then destruction of university property.
Physical assault is dismissal, and destruction of school property is also dismissal.
The immediate sanction. Your last attempt.
For both.
Yes. Make progress?
Yes, please.
All right, so the physical assault, the first sanction here says suspension plus appropriate compensation. And then for destruction of university property, we have replacement before the dismissal or anything. So you are wrong.
Okay.
This part.
Anajwa, you appeared very confident, so let's finish hard. Listen to your question. The question is in 3 parts, so you relax and answer the question appropriately. I want you to provide the names of the following personalities. The first part is the current Vice Dean of Students. The full name.
The current Vice Dean is Professor Amenu. I don't really know the full name, but I know it's Amenuveye.
All right, so let's move to the next question. The current SRC president of the university.
The current SRC president, Mr. Lawrence Latif.
Okay, then the last one. The current vice chancellor of the university.
The current vice chancellor of the university.
Should we make progress?
Yes.
Okay. The first one, the current vice dean of students is Professor Edem Amenume. And the current SRC president of the university is His Excellency Latif Lawrence Joey. And the current vice chancellor of the university is Professor Johnson Nyako Bompong. So, you know, your first attempt, the first one, you got the title, then you got the share name to a large extent right. Then, okay, so you could not. Then the second one, you got the name, 2 names right, but you left the title, which is very, very important. Okay. So So the last one, for the vice chancellor, you didn't get it at all. So I'll be generous enough to give you average. Okay. Thank you.
Anajwa, my friend, smile for me. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
You hear from the committee soon.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best. Right. So we're transmitting live from the old academic board chamber, and this is the vetting of nominees for the position of SRC coordinating secretary. And we are live on TV UCC and on ATL 100.5. If the PDF is ready, over to you, PDF.